Messiah than the one you've inherited? Visit missingmessiah.com to learn more.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly declared victory in a months-long dispute with the federal government over a request to hand over SNAP benefit data. Kelly announced on February 22nd that her office secured an agreement with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to protect the personal information of Kansans who have benefited from SNAP from being shared with foreign governments. This comes after the USDA demanded Kelly and the Kansas Department for Children's and Families turn over SNAP data to the federal government last year. Kelly said the new agreement complies with state and federal privacy laws related to SNAP and ensures that after the data is shared, the USDA will stop its disallowance letter. This will end the USDA's efforts to disallow Kansans' SNAP funds and ensure that Kansas citizens' data is protected. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Freezing fog along the east of Highway 25 has developed overnight and will hang through mid-morning. Clouds will break some midday, increase again later this afternoon with south winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, warming temperatures into the 50s to the east and low 60s to the west. Fog and drizzle will develop again overnight with increasing southeasterly winds, lows staying above freezing. Tomorrow, a low-pressure system will cross the Rockies, move through the Oklahoma-Texas panhandle in the evening, and east across Oklahoma overnight. Scattered late afternoon and evening showers are possible locally, with northeast winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour and highs in the 40s. Wednesday, lingering clouds with light northwesterly winds in the lower to mid-50s, lows in the lower 30s. And Thursday, another trough and low develops out west, increasing south winds and warming temperatures into the upper 60s to low 70s, with evening and overnight showers and thunderstorm chances increasing. This meteorologist Chris Stromick in the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
It's back, and it's the most popular promotion of the year. The NWKS Radio Bracket Challenge is here.
In the corner of three, go!
Pick up a paper bracket at participating sponsor locations, fill it out, return it, and you could win a stack of cash for your hoops knowledge. No apps, no gimmicks, just bragging rights, buzzer beaters, and a chance to cash in. This year's NWKS Radio Bracket Challenge is proudly brought to you in part by
Twister's Bar and Grill, the Farmer State Bank, Triple R Insurance, and Hurl Chevrolet GMC.
Farmers, you insure your truck, your shop, and your crops. So why would you not insure your center pivot? Especially with diversified agri-insurance from Western Sprinklers. Even if it's 34 years old, damaged, or destroyed, they'll insure it. Diversified agri-insurance lets you insure your equipment, not just at its present value, but for its replacement costs. Contact Western Sprinklers in Colby with any questions about your current policy or to get your irrigation system covered today.
Looking for serious truck savings? Head to Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland and check out these Chevrolet deals happening now. Drive home a 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom with up to $6,000 in rebates, now just $45,335. Need more features? Step into a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT with up to $5,750 in rebates, now $52,040. Power, capability, and value, all backed by the Chevrolet name. See the lineup today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, online at hurlchev.com.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's a new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodlands Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon. He'll score. Ball game.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pupping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Here's a 3-on-2. Bounce pass ahead to Stargell. Beautiful one from Bierman. Stargell uses the left hand and lays it in. 10-1 Cowgirls.
Next to him. Oh, that's a deep drive. Left field. Off into the Auburn night. It's gone. 3-run bomb from Chesky.
Peterson for 3. Got it again. Darren Peterson heating up, and Kansas within 6.
Here's Bryce Sanford. Pulls up for 3.
Got it! Bang! Bang! 4-point play chance. Bryce Sanford with a quick trigger nails the 3.
Here's a steal by Nate Johnson. Great anticipation. Steps through, drives behind the back. PJ got it!
And good Monday morning, everybody. We're off and rolling here on a March edition of the Morning Blitz. It's March 2nd already. So, man, we are, can't believe it, but we are through 2 months of the year 2026 already.
We're in the best month of the year, Ross.
Is it really the best of the year?
You know why.
Man, I know it's great. I mean, March Madness, of course, is awesome. And it's probably one of the, if not the, one of the 2 best days in sports, that first opening round, where there's 32 basketball games having to get played in a 2-day span. I mean, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm definitely not going to disagree with you on that statement or that take. But I'm just sitting there thinking, is it really the best month of the year?
Well, at least I got this too, though. From a sports perspective, you also signal the start of baseball. College baseball ramps up, and you get MLB at the very end of the month, and you get all the conference tournaments for college basketball as well. So I think that culmination, man, it's, for me, I love it.
That's fine. I'm not going to disagree with you a whole print. I think it's great. There's no doubt about it. It's a great, I would say you're probably right. Probably when it is, it's things are starting, you're coming out of what is supposed to be the deep freeze of winter.
Not for us.
We haven't even gone to the deep freeze of winter yet. But yes, a big busy month of March ahead. And we're glad that you decided to join us here on the Morning Blitz. Today's program, we will be visiting with Mike Holiday. It's kind of been back and forth with Mike this morning. I texted him this morning. So you good to go? He goes, yeah. He goes, can we do tomorrow? I said, probably we could do tomorrow for you. And then he just texted me. He goes, no, you know what? I'm good to go today. So apparently we're going to roll today with Mike Holiday.
We'll see.
And we will have him on around, probably 7:35 Mountain, 8:35 Central Time. If you forget Mike Holiday, he is our area wrestling expert. He just got done covering 2 consecutive days of 3 through 1A state wrestling. And we'll get plenty of recap with him on what happened at state wrestling, I should say, here this past weekend. Once again, lots of great success for multiple area wrestlers. So we will get to that coming up here at the bottom of the hour. We'll get to leftovers. We've got some baseball news as well. So as per usual, it is a very busy Monday show. How was the weekend, Connor?
Spectacular, honestly. How was yours?
You're feeling really good of what happened on Sunday. I know that's why. I watched a little bit of that. So I know why you're feeling really good about things. So Mine was fine. No complaints here, that's for sure. Busy weekend, but that's all right. Let's get things rolling. We got weekend winners and losers to get to.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners.
Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
Want to be a winner, be a winner.
All right, weekend winners. What do we got this morning, Connor?
You know what I'm starting with. After this one, it's all area stuff, but my first winner, it's Ohio State basketball. And it's not just the men's team. Obviously, you know what happened. The men's basketball team for Ohio State upset Purdue 82-74. And I will also let you know, I was wrong about the stat that I said last week. Jake Diebler was actually 2-0 against Purdue, and now he is 3-0 against the Boilermakers. I mean, he's had his struggles, and people kind of want him out of there, but there is no question that the Jake Diebler Ohio State Buckeyes own Purdue. Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. combined for over 40 points, and they honestly dominated Purdue from start to finish. They led from about the 10-minute mark in the first half all the way to the end of the game, and led by as much as 16 at one point. And it just felt like it was funny because it looked like they were the better team. Ohio State is not the better team, obviously, but it felt like it yesterday. And on top of that, Ohio State's women's basketball team, ranked number 13 in the nation, beat number 15 Michigan State in Lansing by 19 points, 87-68. So great weekend for Ohio State hoops. I'm pretty happy. Things are going great in the Buckeye world. I think the men's team's going to make the tournament as long as they don't slip up against Penn State or Indiana.
I could have swore I saw on a bracketologist prediction, he said it was like they were like the next 4 out was on that, and then they beat Purdue, and all of a sudden they're an 11 seed.
Because it's Purdue. They're the 8th ranked team in the nation. That's what happens.
I'm actually happy for Ohio State because that helps my Cornhuskers. That almost, not quite, but almost solidifies them as the number 2 seed in the Big Ten basketball tournament. Not quite.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the standings because I think it's close.
Nebraska's at number 2 right now, but if they can find a way to win 1 out of their last 2, I think they've pretty much got it locked.
Who's the last 2?
UCLA at UCLA and home versus Iowa.
Both very winnable.
I would think so, but we'll see. But yes, that definitely helped out Nebraska's causes yesterday with that Ohio State win. I figured that'd be your one of your big winners of the weekend. I watched that I watched it. I think it was that Diebler was dressed up in a suit and tie. I think he needs to look more professional. I think
he suits up most of the time.
He needs to stay that way. I think it would help him out a lot. But yeah, big win this on Sunday, at least for the Ohio State men. I watched them take down Purdue in that. My first winner of the weekend, I'll go local and say shout out to all of our state wrestlers that were state placers. Playboy counted 32 of 60 placed at state here this past weekend, including 7 state champions. Colby had 2 of them in senior Ryder Dempy Wolf and junior Morgan Hills. Morgan Hills, by the way, could become a 3-time state champ. Dempy Wolf was a 2-time state champ. Corbin Franklin of Rollins County. He was a freshman, by the way, this year. He could be a 4-time state champ with the dominance that he showed this year. Hoxie, Braden Wilson, the sophomore, got finished in first, and so did senior Ian Giancola. I believe he is a 2-time state champ. I apologize. Dempy Wolf, 3-time state champ. I apologize for Ryder Dempy Wolf. 3-time state champ for Ryder Dempy Wolf. And then also Abigail Jackson of Oakley bringing home a title. And then freshman Hensley Matthews, I think is how that name is said, for St. Francis. She was a state champion as a freshman right out of the gate. So a lot of young state champions here in Northwest Kansas, but nonetheless, 7 of them. And like I said, 32 wrestlers placed overall. Highlights on the team side of things. You had, once again, Hoxie winning a boys state championship, won it by over 100 points in the team standings. That is their 6th consecutive state championship for Hoxie boys wrestling. 6 consecutive. And looking at that team that made it to state, there are a lot of underclassmen, a lot of sophomores and freshmen. And so that means that this tradition will probably continue on for the next handful of years, at least for Hoxie wrestling, who could be pushing it to 7, 8, 9, maybe even get it to 10 if they continue on the path they're on. Hoxie Wrestling is dominating the state, our Hoxie Boys Wrestling. And then really solid showings as well from other teams. Of course, Colby Girls finishing runners-up in 4A, mostly due to the fact that they had Morgan Hills, which was fantastic with her finishing in first place. But you also had everybody else, pretty much all but 3 placed. You had Adrian Salcido finish in 4th, Dallas Steiben in 3rd, Faith Hoover in 5th, as well as Mackenzie Reimer, all finishing in 5th place for those wrestlers. For Colby Girls, who finished 2nd in 4A. And then Oakley Girls, not to be outdone, finishing in 3rd place with their team standings, and St. Francis Girls coming in top 10 at number 7. So overall, a great weekend, as it usually is for area Northwest Kansas wrestling. Usually it's about typical. The amount they send, usually about half of them end up placing at some sort of level.
That's what I've noticed. It's ever since I've been here. Wrestling is certainly, I think you could call wrestling king out here.
It's very big. It's very, very big. There's no doubt about it. It is a huge thing. And congratulations to all the state champions, all the placers. It's certainly a very tough thing to get there. And to first and foremost to get there, and then second of all to finish on the podium is very, very difficult to do. So congratulations to all area wrestlers that finished, like I said, in the top 6 placing, and then congratulations, of course, to Hoxie Boys, Colby Girls, bringing home some team hardware as well there from the state wrestling tournaments. And we'll have more on this with Mike Holliday coming up here a little bit later on, as he'll try and recap a lot of this stuff for us in our bottom segment. So that's my first winner of the weekend. What else you got for winners?
I will say I did have them as my second winner of the weekend. And on top of that, there were 13 first and second place finishers. So
that's
6
awesome.
Second place finishers. Pretty impressive. Shout out to all the area wrestlers. But third, I think you can lump in the boys team with this too. But Colby Girls Basketball got the win, a dominant win over Hoisington on Friday night. I think the final was 45-23 in Hoisington. And that's why the seeding is a little bit weird, because Colby was a 9 seed and Hoisington 8. But looked like the cards were pretty overmatched almost that entire time. Colby played incredible defense. Don't have the stats on it, but it felt like they forced at least 25 turnovers. Every single time Colby doubled a ball handler, it felt like a Hoisington player coughed it up, and they just put so much pressure on their offense and caused a lot of transition opportunities. And Colby was able to kind of get out and running after that second quarter. And not to mention, Shaylee Holzmeister had more points than Hoisington by herself. She finished with 25. So very impressive showing. But what you get is a date with Holcomb after this. And that's both teams play against Holcomb. So I really hope we can see a couple of upsets. That would be awesome, especially after how those first couple of games went against the Longhorns for both Colby basketball teams. So we're hoping for a pair of upsets on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, yeah.
Are they not going to combine those two and play on the same night?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that.
Especially since both teams have to go to Holcomb. You know, I can understand if, like Colby boys were a higher seed than Holcomb, for example, and then, Holcomb had to come there and you wanted to play, both teams got a home game. But since they both have to go to Holcomb, it would almost surprise me if they made Colby make 2 trips in back-to-back nights.
As far as I know, no, but I'll be asking some questions.
That'd be a question I would just double check on. I don't know that for a fact yet, but it's just to save some time and some mileage. Let's go. Well, of course, one of those teams would have to agree to play. I mean, I don't see why Colby Girl or Colby Boys would say, "Yeah, we'll wait an extra day and go down there and play." But we'll see. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, great win for them. How was the gymnasium there? I wanted to know about Hoisington's gym.
It was cool. It was that little event center they had on the outskirts of town, and it was a cool little building. I didn't think the Hoisington fans showed up like I thought. If I'm being totally honest, I mean, I think there were more Colby fans there.
Wow.
At that point, and on the far side of the gym, there was a good student section for Hoisington. I'll give them that. Their fans, at least the student fans, showed out pretty well. So I'll give them props.
Where they had you set up at? Were you on the floor?
I was a little above the floor, like right behind the scorers table, and I was next to Hoisington's broadcaster. So they set it up well. I got to appreciate what they did. I mean, I had a great vantage point, everything right there out front. No complaints.
Yeah. That's awesome. And to me, it maybe the lopsidedness of the score, but not to see that Colby won. Once again, I go back to the fact that I think you look at teams that play, particularly in the GWAC conference, are very well challenged throughout the course of the year. And some of those other teams aren't as challenged as they are out here. And so that could sometimes lead to what you saw on Friday night. Sometimes.
Absolutely.
Not always, but sometimes.
That's what happened. There you go.
My final winner of the weekend, Colby Community College men's basketball. Some interesting stats. CCC men's basketball beat Garden City on Saturday, 80-60. First of all, that's the most lopsided win that the Trojans have had this year. Garden City came in as the number 5 scoring offense in JUCO basketball, and they held them to 60 points.
They were scoring like 110 points a game or something crazy like that.
Yeah, just absolutely shut them down. DJ Kason and Alou Diallo beat each one over 22. I think they had 22 and 24 respectively. They were really good in the game. In a game where Colby shot 53% from the floor. So every other shot was going in for Colby in this 80-60 win over Garden City. And so it's a huge time win for them. How about this for an interesting stat? That's the first time this season that the Colby Trojan men have won back-to-back games.
Really?
They had not won back-to-back games until they had just gotten done winning on Wednesday and now here on Saturday against Pratt.
I raise you this. Colby is still winless on the road. They're 7-8 at home. 7-8 at home.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. And
they don't like to travel.
No, but I'm sure you saw this stat, but the free throw battle, I think, decided the game. Garden City shot 2 free throws.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Colby shot 22. I
How
think
many
that's
threes did Garden City attempt?
They took 43 and they only hit 13.
Exactly.
Colby was 5 of 17. So
Yep.
Trojans didn't shoot it too well either, but it didn't matter. The free throws, man.
What's the old adage, man? You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And there was a death by the 3 right there.
Yes. Couldn't hit twos either. 35% overall from the floor.
Not good. Not good. But congratulations, Colby Community College, man. Jared Stanford. They went back-to-back games for the first time this season. I think it's all a little too late, but nice little positive in here as we come. Final game of the regular season coming up Wednesday.
Yeah, I think they're locked up into the conference tournament now. I don't know if Pratt can do anything else.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, that'll be big. They can get that. They'll be in that. So
absolutely,
just barely got across the finish line just in time to make the conference tournament. But they'll have to go to the number 1 seed, and that'll be hard.
Good momentum.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see how that bracket looks here after Wednesday. Wednesday's the regular season finale for both those teams. By the way, another disheartening shout out to Fort Hays Tech Northwest men. They lost by 3 to Coffeyville.
Of course they did, right?
10, that's 10 games this year. They've lost by 5 or less points.
I ran into Coach Shaw and was talking to him about that later that day. He was not pleased.
You ran into him on Saturday?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. So, yeah, that was tough for him. But yeah, another close loss for them. By the way, Colby Community College women lost pretty handily, and so did the Fort Hays Tech Northwest women, losing pretty handily as well. They also, by the way, Fort Hays Tech Northwest women shot 2 free throws in their loss to Coffeyville. So not a lot.
Free throws, big story.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Not enough of them, apparently. All right, any more winners for you?
That was my last one. The men's basketball team. Yes, we lined up pretty well.
I'm apparently swiping your winners. All right, let's move on to losers of the weekend. What do you got for losers?
Well, we've got the Jayhawks, unfortunately, in their matchup against Arizona. And I know Arizona is incredible, and they were playing at Arizona. The Wildcats, by the way, moving to 27-2 on the season, but losing by 23. I feel like you expect a little more, especially with KU with a healthy Darren Peterson. I think now he had 24 points in 31 minutes. I don't think he was really the problem, but I think the bench production really let him down. They only got 7 points off the bench, and Elmarco Jackson was 1 for 7 from the floor. Not to mention Jamari McDowell played 12 minutes and didn't attempt a single shot. I feel like that's not good. And on top of that, Flory Badunga and Bryson Tiller combined for 4 points. That'll I think that kills you right there.
Yeah, Flory kind of ran into someone who, they always say pick on people your own size. Flory kind of ran into some people that were definitely his
Krivas.
size, if not bigger. Yeah.
And Koa Pete's healthy now, so he ran into both of them.
That was because Koa didn't play at KU when they did. I don't think he
he's
played.
been out for a while, and he finally came back.
So yeah, that was I don't know. I don't want to say it. I was not shocked by the weekend that happened for regional college basketball teams. They were kind of in my losers the weekend. KU, K-State, and Colorado all lost. K-State had the closest game, but they also had the easiest opponent in TCU. They lost by 9 to TCU. By the way, if you add up the total of what KU, K-State, and Colorado lost, Arizona, Houston, and TCU, it was over 90 points. That averages to around 24 points they lost by an average.
That Houston game really skews it.
Yeah, that was a beatdown, a 40-point loss on the road for Colorado, 102 to 62. It was bad. It was bad. So not a good weekend for regional college basketball teams, except for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They took care of business on the road at USC. That's the only winner of the weekend.
I think that knocks USC off the bubble. And in other slight news, I'm sure you saw it, but Chad Baker Mazara.
Oh, he's stealing my loser of the weekend.
Oh no, you were going to say that?
Yes. No, it's fine.
Here, I'll let you go.
But yeah, my loser of the weekend, kind of coming off of regional college basketball teams, is University of Southern California's Chad Baker Mazara, who for those who don't know is a player for them.
He's an old man.
He's had a very interesting life as Chad Baker Mazara, originally from the Dominican, or I think he's got Dominican Republic background to him, but he pretty much quit during the game against Nebraska. And if anybody watched this, there was a moment in the second half where I think he went up, kind of got minorly hurt or something like that, might have like banged knees or something like that. Nothing like too serious. Ended up walking off the floor, walked back into the locker room, and then came back out and didn't sit on the bench. Instead, sat with the fans on the baseline, which, by the way, the fans, when they showed him say nice to the fans, they were like not surprised that he was sitting there.
Because that's just who he is.
What are you sitting here for?
And the thing is, he's one of those guys that represents the ugliness of the transfer portal era. I think that's team number 5 or 6.
It is number 5.
Duquesne, USC, Auburn, and there was one more. And then there was
San Diego State, and he also
junior college.
And he also went to Florida or Northwest Florida State for junior.
Yeah, and the worst thing is I'm a college graduate of almost a full year. He has 4 years on me. He's 4 years older than me.
He is 26 years old.
He's 26.
Playing
That's
college
incredible.
basketball. Goodland Cowboy basketball coach Dawson Raymer's coaching high school basketball, and this other guy's out there. He's out there playing college basketball.
And he acts like he's like 17.
Oh, he does. He's terrible. Well, anyway, Eric Musselman had enough of them, kicked him off the team yesterday.
Good. God, I hate him.
So
he's one of my least favorite college basketball players.
So you talk about a great weekend. You play, you quit, you pretty much quit in on your team and sit with the fans during the game. You're kicked off the team Sunday. Look up, by the way, just look up. I saw this amazing stat. Actually, I got my buddy who did this. My buddy did this. He goes, look at productive NBA 26-year-old players. Here are some of them.
Oh, no.
Tyrese Halliburton is 26 years old. Brandon Ingram is 26 years old. And the Nuggets' own Jamal Murray is 26 years old.
And to your point,
NBA careers.
All of them have been in the NBA for a while now.
A long time, yes.
Which is just hilarious to me.
But Chad Baker Mazara is not going to be making the NBA because he's quitting on his 5th college basketball team.
He wasn't making it. He's a good college basketball player, but at that age, sorry, man.
Not good. Anyway, any more losers for you?
Yeah, I got a similar one to KU when a good team faces a great team. In this case, it was Arkansas just getting the brakes beaten off them by Florida. I expected this to be a lot closer. The number 20 team in the nation versus the number 7 team. Arkansas, they're probably not going to fall totally out of the top 25 today, but it might get close. But they lost 77 to 111. Florida just annihilated them by 34 points. And I like Arkansas a lot, but they were totally held down, and they shot 54% from the free throw line. And
oh my gosh, that won't mean anything.
And they only turned the ball over 9 times, which wasn't that bad. However, Florida knocked down
25 free throws, and they out-rebounded Arkansas 51-31. That will do it. Tell you what.
God. It makes you wonder if Coach Cal's formula, for Coach Cal, not that he's doing it a whole lot at Arkansas yet, but bringing in the best freshman recruiting classes, if that's going to actually carry in today's college basketball, because you have players out there like Chad Baker-Mazara that are 26 and a whole lot older.
And a team like Florida, they have a lot of older guys like Alex Condon, Thomas Huck, and Ruben Chinyelu, who are guys who have been there for a few years now.
They're reigning national champs.
They're juniors and seniors, and their two guards, their starting guards, are both high-level transfers, Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee. Boogie Fland hasn't been too great this year, and Boogie Fland from Arkansas initially, funnily enough, recruited by Cal. And Xavier Lee from Princeton he's been much better lately. But yeah, that's a much older team running into Arkansas has some vets, but Darius Acuff Jr. is probably their leader, and he's a freshman. He's a great player. He's incredible. He's probably a lottery pick this year, but sometimes you run into the older guys like that, and it hurts.
I got one more loser, then I'm out of here real quickly. I found this one out this morning, but Jess McClain, a loser of the weekend. Jess McClain, by the way, is a marathon runner. She was leading the U.S. half marathon championships with less than 2 miles to go. And a win would have delivered a national title, automatic qualification for the world championships, and a $20,000 prize. Instead, the lead vehicle in front of her veered off course. McClain and 2 others followed it before course correcting and finished up in 9th.
That is, I'd say she's not the loser. I think the driver's the loser.
But unfortunately, she's not. I think she tried to appeal, and it ain't gonna go through. I mean, it's lost for her because she was just following the car. The car took a wrong turn.
It's impressive she still finished in 9th, even while following the car.
Oh, my God. You can imagine the fact that you're going the wrong way.
That reminds me, I remember there was a cross-country race.
There might not be any fans around you, but you're just like, why is there nobody around us here? We're getting closer to the finish line. Oh, you're not on the course.
Very quick story time. I remember in high school cross-country, there was we were watching the JV race, waiting to start ours a little bit later, and half of the runners got sent the wrong direction and added 5 minutes to their times. And then it was like all the kids in the back half of JV finished like first, second, like kids that were, or actually, no, they got routed on a quicker route and cut off like a half mile to the race. And it's like, this kid finished with a 17-minute 5K. Like, that doesn't sound right at all.
He cut the corner.
And like, we had 5 kids on our team do that on accident, and they all finished like top 5 in JV. And it was funny because you'll see that sometimes. And a sport like that involves just distance running, you will have little hiccups like that on occasion.
God, this guy set a record time. What did he do? Oh, he cut off half the course.
Yeah, it's like, he's not faster than me. What are you doing?
That's great. I just thought that was rough. Any more losers for you this weekend?
I think that's all for me.
All right, quickly before we get to our break, Larry chiming in, Effie Bank text line with his winner of the weekend, Connecticut women's basketball. Yeah, an unbeaten season, 31-0. Coach Gino Ariema's comment at halftime, quote, "We have as many offensive rebounds as dead persons, 0.
That's great. That's incredible.
So Gino wasn't happy with the offensive rebounding, but his team is 31-0. They stomped St. John's last night. And our good friend Steve from Binkelman, shout out to his hometown school, Dundee County Stratton, the girls basketball team, number 1 in their classification, Nebraska. They whooped Potter Dix to go to the state tournament in Lincoln. 71-15 was the final.
Oh, that's brutal.
They're good. They got a great girls basketball program up there. They had a little bit of a lull, but they've had some great runs up there at Dundee County Stratton. I think they might be on their way to another state championship there at the DCS. So congratulations.
If you're winning like that.
Yeah. in pretty much what is a regional championship, you won 71-15 to go to the
That's
state.
Incredible.
It's a beatdown.
Jeez.
That'll do it for our weekend winners and losers. A fun edition of the weekend winners and losers. Let's take a break. We're going to talk some state wrestling next with Mike Holliday. You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
Your business was built right here, so was ours. At FNB Bank, we are not run from some distant city. We are run by neighbors, for neighbors. We know what matters to you because it matters to us too. From local decisions to face-to-face service, we are here. Bank local, grow local, stay local. FNB Bank, member FDIC.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
This is Hayden Ravely with the Anderson's Morning Market Report. Today is March 2nd. Today, so corn for March is opening at $4.36 3/4, down 2 cents. May corn is at $4.49, up a half. Kansas City wheat for March is at $5.77 1/4, up 4 1/2. May Kansas City wheat is at $5.84 1/4, up 3 3/4. Soybeans for March are at $11.50 1/2, down 6 3/4. And for May, soybeans are at $11.65 1/4, down 5 cents 1/2. S&P futures are currently down 81 points. Dow futures are down 538 points. NASDAQ futures are down 380 points, and gold is up 158 points. If you need cash, grain, and move, or interested in our freight and pricing tools, give myself, Jared Law, Tom Saluda, or Tyler Grosh a call at 913-748-3000. If you have a meeting in Colorado, call John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4484.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together.
Every bag of FiberMax cotton has 220,000 seeds chock full of innovation, like advanced genetics for longer, stronger fiber, which means 220,000 reasons to hear, "You got what premiums?" And new Accent Flex technology for powerful weed control, which means 220,000 reasons to say, "Heck yeah, I grew that." FiberMax cotton from BASF. Innovation in every bag. Always read and follow label directions.
Miss the weekend action?
Yes, you caught me.
No worries. We've got all the highlights and lowlights covered.
Hey, okay, well, catch me up.
This is the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
Oh, here we go.
We continue here on a Monday program, March the 2nd. Going to be a little warmer than yesterday. Temperatures into the upper 50s here to kick off this week in the first week of March. There is a chance of some precipitation. We'll see coming on Tuesday night. But temperatures mostly going to feel very springy out here on the high plains. We welcome into the program our good friend, our area wrestling expert, Mike Holliday. He didn't get a nap in yesterday, but he sounds pretty chipper despite working, multiple consecutive days. Good morning, Mike. How are we doing today?
Well, riding that high of state wrestling in Hayes, which is just always my favorite 2 days of the year. Another really good tournament, another really good showing by our area wrestlers. And it was a treat to be around. It's a lot of matches. You've got 6 mats going on, trying to cover 3 girls matches and then 3 boys matches at once. So that could be a challenge, but it's so much fun, and it has been, I think, even more fun. And I think the emotion has been elevated in Gross Coliseum since last year. Adding the girls to that tournament has just been great. 3-2-1 is it's a special place to be because you have all these tight-knit, mostly Northwest Kansas communities that are represented there. When you talk about your Hoxies and Oakleys and St. Francis and, everybody from the area, that's what makes 3-2-1A, I think, even a little bit different atmosphere than most of the other classes has. It's the communities, man, and it is great to see everybody, to hear those loud cheering sections.
Mike, I want to hear a little bit about Hoxie at first here. They continue their legacy with another great showing at state. Just tell us a little bit about how good they've been over the years and how that's continuing.
Well, it certainly continued this year. The state tournament was over on the team side of things after round 1 when Hoxie went 11 for 11 in the first round. They had 11 qualifiers. 10 of those qualifiers placed. They had 2 state champions, Ian Gincola at 132, and he is going to really cement his career as one of the best at Hoxie, and that is saying something. He's not a 4-timer like Derek Johnson and Dayton Porsche were, and Matt Gillen for Hoxie. They've got 3 4-time state champions, but he will end his career as a 3-time state champion. He won the 132-pound weight class with a really exciting win over state champion Garrett Clydesdale of Norton. Both of those wrestlers are fantastic, and it was good to have 2 champions in the same weight class. But it was Gincola winning that. That is the only senior state qualifier for Hoxie, so they lose him. That's a big loss, but they'll get some junior high kids in, and everybody else returns. So Hoxie will be the favorite, not just next year, but the year after as well, because they have a really deep sophomore class. But also Braden Wilson from Hoxie, which may have been the biggest upset in the finals. Wilson won the state championship at 113 pounds as a sophomore, as he had a thrilling 8-7 win over 2-time state champion Caleb Kieswetter of Norton. So the beat goes on in Hoxie. I don't see any way that they won't win it on the team side of things the next 2 years. This is 6 in a row for Hoxie. And keep in mind, we talked about this on Thursday of last week, that they lost 5 state finalists last year and 4 state champions in what was supposed to be a rebuilding year. They still win state by 90 points on the team side. They are just a machine and have it rolling in Hoxie.
Visit with Mike Holiday, our area wrestling expert. I have more of a broadcast question for you. How challenging is it to keep track of 6 mats and go back and forth throughout for 2 consecutive days?
Oh, it's ironic that you bring that up. I was talking about that on my radio show. Most of the coverage that I do during the season, we focus on 3 mats and mostly Northwest Kansas wrestlers. But then when you get to state, you want to cover everybody. And I do the state broadcasting for Smoky Hills PBS, and they have a huge coverage area. So really, a wrestler from Cimarron or somebody from Stanton County is every bit as important to cover as somebody from Hoxie or St. Francis. It is a challenge. It's very little play-by-play, and it's mostly just giving results until you get to the semifinals and then the finals. So I'm out of my element. I was thinking about that too. I did my broadcast just with all the challenges of trying to cover everything. You have people say, hey, nice job, but I thought it was kind of a C+ broadcasting effort. But that's kind of what you get when you're trying to cover 6 different events, 6 different matches. So it's not the most ideal way to cover it for a play-by-play guy, but that's they're not gonna do things any differently. It's going to be 6 mats henceforth, as it should be. In wrestling, and I think other sports too, there was a decision made years ago to, hey, let's give these guys and gals a lot of attention, but let's try to get people out before 9:30 at night too. And that state tournament was done 6 o'clock Central Time on on Saturday night, so everybody got out in time. But it is a challenge. It is a challenge to follow along with 6 mats, but it's a lot of fun too. You get to watch a lot of wrestling.
Mike, what's more impressive to you? You get, obviously ones that are repeat champions are very impressive, but I'll throw a couple of area wrestlers in. So like Abigail Jackson Oakley, a senior, winning there, but then you have a couple of freshmen like in Hensley Matthews and Corbin from Rollins County, Corbin Franklin. What's more impressive, a senior getting it done maybe in their final year or a freshman getting it done in their first year?
Well, for Corbin Franklin, I thought that was an amazing wrestling performance by him. Hensley Matthews is just better than everybody else in her weight class. And she had an undefeated season, just a wonderful tournament again, although her match with Kaylee Klein of Plainville was closer in the finals. That was a 3-point win for Matthews, where she pinned her in the first period 2 weeks prior at regionals. For Corbin Franklin, completely different story. He had Xander Donner of Russell in the state championship match and beat him for the second time, beat him at regionals as well. He lost to him a couple of weeks before in Phillipsburg by a point, but earlier this season, right after Christmas break at the tournament in Norton, Xander Donner tech-falled him, so beat him by 15 points. I can't remember what the final score was, but made it an easy time with him. For Franklin to improve that much was just one of the most amazing things that I've seen in wrestling in quite some time. Of course, he has a lot of summer wrestling experience. He does freestyle and wrestles a lot outside of high school, but that was an amazing win. But it was amazing too for Abigail Jackson. So I'll kind of take the high road on this and say that both of them are impressive. Jackson lost the state championship last year at 135. She came back this year and won it. She was a favorite to win it last year and dropped a heartbreaker to Kinsey Zorn of Russell. But came back and had her eyes on the state championship. So that's impressive as well. But what these freshmen have done, have been able to come in and win state championships over really good opponents. And Klein of Plainville, who Matthews wrestled, and Donner of Russell, who Franklin had in the 106-pound championship, are fantastic wrestlers. So I'd say that I'd lean toward the freshmen. They were impressive.
Mike Holliday, our guest here on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline. He's our area wrestling expert recapping state wrestling from this past week. Anything else that really stood out to you from there in Hayes over the last, maybe there was some other wrestlers that really caught your eye or impressed you? Maybe they didn't stand at the very top of the podium, but had some really solid showings?
As far as the area, I thought St. Francis girls did really well. Oakley placed third as a team after taking second the last couple of years. Callie Wagner was in the state championship as well. She dropped a narrow decision to a really good freshman from Russell in Aaliyah Trevino. She had a great season. She was going for back-to-back state championships and fell just short. She got her first state medal 3 years ago as a Quinter Bulldog and then has placed second, first, and second the last couple of years. Really good career for her. I'd say on the girls' side, too, Russell had 4 state champions. So they got 5 to the finals, and all but kind of like Hoxie, all but one state qualifier was an underclassman. They lose their 135-pounder Maya Trevino, who fell short of placing, but they returned everybody. The Russell girls had a great performance. Kaysen Miller from Norton wins her second straight state championship. She's probably one of the top 5 wrestlers in the state, regardless of class, on the girls' side. So that stood out to me. But, Western Kansas is just really, really well represented. I can't remember the exact numbers. There'd be 28 matches altogether, and I believe there were 24 from that West Regional that were represented in the finals. So just like on the boys' side, the girls, most of the really good wrestling in 3-2-1A is out this direction.
Even in 4A as well, not that you would have all the insider information on it, but, Colby finishing top 10, I think, in the boys, and the girls finishing runners up as well. Another good showing there from Colby Eagle Wrestling this past year. They've continued to be, near the top the last few handfuls of years when it comes to wrestling on the mat.
Wow, how about Colby girls this week taking second as a team? I did not see that coming, but they had 5 state placers. Morgan Hills easily wins her second straight state championship. She had 2 losses this season, but once she wrestles just 4A opponents, she is really, really good and pinned or teched her way through the tournament. Had a first period 10 in the championship, but 5 placers altogether. Dallas Steben was a placer. Hey, the Hoover Lumber, a sponsor of the show.
Yeah, that's
Faith
right.
Hoover
Faith
was
Hoover,
was a placer as well. So that was great to see. On the boys' side, Ryder Dimpy Wolf will probably be on the Mount Rushmore of Colby wrestlers, and that is saying something. Colby High has had just a fantastic wrestling tradition, but Dimpy Wolf, a Central Missouri commit, wins his 3rd straight state championship. He's a 4-time state placer, and the Colby boys had 4 that medaled at state. So a really good showing from them. As far as Goodland goes, they didn't have any placers, but that's not going to be the case in the not too distant future. Their girls and boys program, they're starting to get some numbers out, so that's certainly going to help. And I expect to see some Goodland Cowboys and Cowgirls placing here down the road. But yeah, again, from our 4A schools in the area, good showing, especially by Colby.
Well, Mike, we're going to let you go. Try and get a nap in today, all right? You've earned one, so get a Monday afternoon nap in, and we'll catch up with you down the road. Thanks again for all your insight and expertise when it comes to this state wrestling.
Well, hey, thank you, Ross. I appreciate it, and appreciate you having me on. And this area, I love the sport, as you can probably tell when you talk to me. I'm almost kind of sad. I could use a break, but almost sad that it's over. You kind of get to know some of these wrestlers personally, our area kids, and you root for them along the way. So we'll see a lot of them next year, though, and I hope to be back on with you in a year.
We hope so, too. Mike, thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, guys.
Once again, great stuff there from our good area wrestling expert there, Mike Holliday, joining us. By the way, he said that no Goodland Cowboys or Cowgirls placed. Traven Conger actually got 5th. Did finish in 5th place.
There you go.
Won over Bo Bussman of Marysville to finish in 5th place to Traven Conger. So 1 out of 4 for Goodland at this time. But yeah, another very successful. Once again, 32 of 60 placers that got there. And what was the stat of the second or first placers?
13 area wrestlers finished 1st or 2nd. Pretty impressive.
A couple of those are freshmen, which to me are the ones that are super fast, because that means there is a shot for a 4-peat.
Yes, that'll be fun to follow.
Absolutely. All right, we got to get to a break. When we come back, we will wrap up the show with the leftovers next and the walk-off. This is the Blitz.
It's time to step into premium capability at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland with strong GMC offers happening now. Get into a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation with up to $7,000 in rebates, now $51,150. And if you're ready for a full-size luxury, the 2026 GMC Yukon features 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Full design, professional-grade performance. GMC delivers power and refinement wherever the road takes you. Visit Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland today or online at earlchev.com.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
When you're looking for great food and friendly hometown service, make it Traditions Restaurant in Goodland. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Tradition serves up classic comfort food favorites, daily specials, and hearty meals made with care. From lunch to dinner, you'll enjoy fresh ingredients, generous portions, and a welcoming atmosphere every time you stop in. It's the perfect spot for family meals, lunch breaks, or catching up with friends. Join the Tradition at Traditions Restaurant, proudly serving Goodland Wednesday through Sunday, where good food and great traditions come together. Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes, and when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
It's not just sports, it's your morning game plan.
I don't even believe you have a plan. I have part of a plan. That is not a plan.
This is the Morning Blitz.
All right, just a couple minutes left to go on the program. Thanks again to Mike Holiday. Thanks to you for listening and chiming in throughout the show on the FB Bank text line or however. So great stuff there as well. Question from Jared H. He goes, will Hoxie catch Arc City's 11 straight state titles? I'd say they got a good shot at it because my guess is they're at least going to get to 8, and that only puts you 4 away from breaking it, 3 away from tying it. To me, if you're going to have great success at this level, you got to start young and you got to develop and develop and develop and develop. And with that academy that they have there in Hoxie, I just don't see how that doesn't, unless something happens, that academy moves away or something goes like that, that the domination probably continues.
I'll take your word for it.
That'd be my 2 cents on it. That'd be my 2 cents on it. We'll see. Leftovers. Anything? You got anything big in the leftovers?
Of course. Well, Starling Marte, outfielder, signing with the Royals on a 1-year deal. It's pending physical, so we'll see. But I think for Royals fans, that's a nice little ad. He's getting up there in age. He's 37, but he's coming off a decent year. He doesn't quite have the speed he used to, but he is still, I think, a valuable big leaguer. And
he's got a little outfield depth. Got a little thump in the bat, I think, to Starling Marte a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's left him.
Not as much as he used to, but he's still a good player, good little player.
They've had a quiet, good offseason, the Royals have. They've added a few pieces, particularly in the pitching department and the bullpen side. And Matt Strom was the one they added. I thought was
I like Matt Strom.
So that was a pretty big one there. They've added some pieces and brought some guys back and kept some guys around. We'll see. There's some nuts out there. I'm not going to say they're nuts, but it's not very nice. They think that the Royals could be playing for the World Series. We'll see.
They have an outside chance.
They have an outside chance. They have a better than most. So, speaking of baseball, Colby Community College baseball went 2-2 this weekend in their series at Northeastern. Trojans are 5-7 this year. Colby Community College softball, a solid weekend. They won 3 of 4 games. They opened the weekend with a sweep of Otero Saturday and then split against Northeastern on Sunday. They are sitting at 5-5 overall on the young softball season. Nebraska, we'll go. I guess we'll go here. K-State went 2-1 against Columbia in their weekend series. KU 2-2 at Minnesota. And Nebraska 1-2 at Auburn. They did get a game at Auburn. They won the first one. It was pretty dramatic, but they were absolutely smashed in the other 2. I mean,
at least they got one. They'll take that.
I guess it was smashed. Connor mentioned high school basketball. This previous Friday night, Colby winning at Hoisington. Goodland did beat Norton 40-25. He mentioned Holcomb will host the Lady Eagles next round. Goodland Cowgirls have their Goodland Nation has their second trip to Southwestern Heights coming up on Wednesday.
Have fun.
That will be a lot of fun. The seasons came to an end for Hoxie boys, who lost 100-40. Very tough there to Sterling, who's one of the best teams in the state. Rollins County fell to Sublette 86-56, and Oakley boys lost at El Saline 66-25, ending their season there. So, like I mentioned, a tough end of the season for those boys teams. There are some teams, though, that advanced to the next round of the postseason. We'll get to those in the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off Gray? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Weskin boys will take on Wheatland Grinnell boys in a sub-state title game Friday at the Colby Event Center. Weskin beating Logan Palco by 6, and Wheatland Grinnell beating Dighton by 11. Wallace County boys beat Cheyenne handily, pinning them against Victoria at the Colby Event Center Friday for a chance to go to the state tournament. Quinter boys beat Lincoln Saturday 51-34. The Bulldogs 20-3. will face Beloit, St. John's, Tipton, and Osborne Friday for a chance to go to state. And then Decatur Community Boys lost to Sylvan Lucas 52-44, ending their year at 16-7. So there you go. Shiloh girls, Wheeling Grinnell, Quinter girls, Decatur Community girls, Wallace County girls, all in action starting tonight with semifinal games. So best of luck to them. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. We'll see you back here again tomorrow on the Blitz.